Prince Philip has passed away and the royal family is breaking from tradition for his funeral. We will have the details.
As local schools start revealing their plans for the fall, will your school be on the in-person learning list? Find out more in the lead report.
And your mask can now have much more than just protection against the virus. Find out more in entertainment.
Plus, one of golfing's best has returned from an injury. Who is it? I'll have it in sports. Newscene starts now.
Good evening, I'm Jillian Fortner and welcome to this week's edition of Newscene. We start tonight with the San Diego Community College District and the county teaming up in the fight against COVID-19. The Educational Cultural Complex in the Mountain View neighborhood has opened up as a temporary vaccination site. County Supervisor Nora Vargas tells San Diegans the site has big targets in mind for how many doses can be administered to this undeserving community.
The goal is that we're going to be able to give up to 1,000 vaccinations, and it's really important because particularly this community has not had access to a lot of vaccine locations, and so we're excited to be able to have this vaccine open today between the County of San Diego and a partnership with the San Diego Community College District.
And in this week's COVID-19 update shows San Diego County is moving from red tier to orange. In San Diego County, over 1.9 million doses of vaccines have been administered. That means nearly 24% of eligible San Diego residents have been vaccinated. The percentage of new cases remains at 2%. 4 new deaths were also reported. And with San Diego County in the orange tier, things are slowly starting to reopen. The less restrictive tier comes as vaccination rollouts are proving successful and case rates are lowering. Under the orange tier guidelines, restrictions on business such as capacity limits continue to ease as we transition out of the tier system. In the meantime, businesses can continue to expect to see a loosening of restrictions. And low-income families are getting help from California lawmakers. A new public banking bill is in the works. BankCal would provide households zero-cost, zero-penalty financial services. It will remain open to all Californians as well. If the bill passes, BankCal will become the nation's first universal consumer banking program. And plans are being made for the fall 2021 school year at 2 universities here in San Diego. Noelle, tell us more.
Thank you, Jillian. As COVID-19 cases drop and vaccine numbers rise, updates keep coming in for education at all levels.
San Diego Unified School District plans to welcome back half of its students to in-person classes this Monday. According to a district survey, 3/4 of the parents want their kids back for in-person learning. The district says it's prepared for any surprises, saying the schools will be ready for whoever shows up.
And UC San Diego and San Diego State University is also reopening its campuses for the fall semester.
Both say they will be opening at normal capacity. Masks will still be required to be worn at all times while on campuses, but it is a major step for students ready for face-to-face learning.
And I know here at City College, many of us can't wait to get back to school.
The state's chancellor's office is giving community college students a glimmer of hope. At the statewide press conference with members of student media, Eloy Ortiz Oakley described a general plan for reopening campuses.
We need to ask the question, what about community colleges? And to answer that question, yes, we are talking to the colleges about beginning to plan for reopening.
You can be sure that we will continue to cover this story. Back to you, Jillian.
Thank you, Noelle. Moving on from the kids here to kids in the South. Arkansas became the first state in the U.S. to prohibit physicians from providing gender-affirmative treatment for trans people under the age of 18. The state's General Assembly voted on Tuesday to override the governor's veto of an anti-trans bill on a 25-8 vote. The new law represents a significant step backwards for trans Americans fighting for equality in Arkansas and will significantly impact teens seeking medical treatment. And the state's Tuesday action was met with LGBTQ advocates vowing to legally challenge the new law. And after multiple mass shootings in the last month, President Joe Biden is taking initial steps to address gun violence. Some of Biden's efforts include restrictions on weapons known as ghost guns and place heavier regulations on arm braces. Biden described the gun violence in the country as an epidemic.
Gun violence in this country is an epidemic. Let me say it again. Gun violence in this country is an epidemic, and it's an international embarrassment.
And the Biden administration has expressed concern over the health of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Navalny was detained in January and is currently on a hunger strike to protest the lack of medical care. It is being reported that his health has been declining since his imprisonment. The Biden administration is calling for his immediate release. In breaking news from London, where the husband of Queen Elizabeth, Prince Philip, has passed away at the age of 99. While in the royal family begins an 8-day mourning process, the late British prince will not lie in state. At the request of Prince Philip will instead lie in rest at the Windsor Castle ahead of the funeral in St. George's Chapel. Due to the ongoing pandemic, the royal family is discouraging gatherings of mourners. Well, the MLB has decided to move the All-Star Game. Assad, tell us why.
Well, yes, Jillian, the game that showcases baseball's best is coming back this year. Coors Stadium in Colorado will now play host to the MLB All-Star Game in July. This comes after the game had to switch venues from Atlanta due to controversy and changes to Georgia's voting laws. The mayor of Colorado, Michael Hancock, had this to say.
We are absolutely honored and thrilled that Major League Baseball has selected Denver and the Colorado Rockies as the new home for the summer's All-Star Game.
The game is expected to bring an almost $200 million boost to the state's economy. And one of golfing's best is playing at the Masters this week after a brutal injury. Less than a month after getting surgery to reattach his dislocated knee, Brooks Koepka is at the tournament. The number 11th ranked golfer in the world struggled in round 1 yesterday, squeezing by with 2 over par. Justin Rose currently holds the lead at 7 under halfway through the tournament. The final 2 rounds will take place over the next 2 days to decide the champion. And that's all I have for sports. Back over to you, Jillian.
And in other golf news, Tiger Woods' car accident in late February is being deemed as a human error accident. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department says the golf pro hit the accelerant by mistake instead of the brakes. The excessive speed made it harder for Woods to manage the curve of the road, and what ultimately led to his high-speed rollover crash. The golf legend is currently resting in his Florida home as the Masters tournament is underway in Augusta, Georgia. And Forbes has released this year's billionaire list with a few surprises. For the first time, Kim Kardashian has reached an estimated net worth of $1 billion. She is now number 2,775 on the new list. Former President Donald Trump dropped nearly 300 places on this list this year. Trump lost an estimated $700 million while in office. It was only a matter of time until our mask became high-tech. Katia, tell us more.
Yes, Jillian. Black Eyed Peas rapper William is teaming up with Honeywell to launch Super Mask. A $300 mask includes 3-speed fans. It also has HEPA filters and features Bluetooth connectivity and LED day glow lights. And the music mogul wouldn't have a mask without noise-canceling capability and a microphone, as well as an earbud docking system. William is no stranger to technology. The rapper has previously invested in Tesla and Beats Electronics. And animal lovers, some sad news. Celebrity zookeeper and advocate for wildlife conservation, Jack Hanna, is retiring from public life. He is reported to have dementia. Hanna is well known for his TV appearances on talk shows. He also had his own shows, Jack Hanna's Animal Adventures and Into the Wild. He has served as the director of the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium for 14 years and still serves as director emeritus. The announcement comes from Hanna's family, who posted a statement on Twitter. The family is asking for privacy due to COVID-19 restrictions. And finally, sad news out of New York this morning. Rapper Dmx has died. He was hospitalized earlier this week and on life support. He was 50 years old. Back to you, Jillian.
And doors are opening for indoor gatherings as we move into the orange tier, but specific guidelines will be needed. Starting April 15th, the new State Department of Public Health says proof of COVID-19 test or show vaccination status will now be needed if you want to attend an indoor reception, meeting, or conference. Event planners will add this new guideline when planning for an indoor event or wedding. And nothing but sunny skies this past week. Could we expect to see some rain soon? Ben has more.
Thanks, Jillian. That's right, much calmer weather has been the trend since last week, but there's a chance of that changing in the coming days with a slight chance of rain. Currently, we see tonight that our regional temperatures are more or less consistent across the board, with temperatures around the low 50s for the coast, inland valleys, and mountains. The only outlier then is the desert region, with temperatures closer to about the high 60s. We'll also see that clouds won't roll in until later in the night, so you can enjoy that sunset from the comfort of your home, wherever you may be in San Diego. And now with our 5-day forecast, we see that temperatures will steadily decline over the next few days, hitting the high 60s by Wednesday. Additionally, the lows for this week will be pretty consistent, with temperatures hovering around 40 degrees or so. You'll also see that there's a chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday closer to the evening, though I personally wouldn't be too concerned by that. A jacket should be enough to stave that off. Well, that's all I have for weather this week. Now, back to you, Jillian.
And Krispy Kreme has a cookie? The donut company and coffee house chain announces teaming up with Oreo. The new donut Oreo cookie glaze is made with real Oreos. You have until April 18th to order this new flavor, and you have two options, the classic or over the top. This marks the first time in 84 years that Krispy Kreme collabs with a different brand to create a new glaze. Make sure to get one, because I know I will. And don't forget your glass of milk. And that's all we have for the show tonight. You can tune into Newscene for our new show every Friday and find it all on sdcitytimes.com. And remember to follow SD City Times Newscene on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you and good night.